Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2018 action thriller Mile 22, a film that is directed by Peter Berg. It stars Mark Wahlberg, we have Lauren Cohen from The Walking Dead, we have Iko Uwais from the Raid films, we have Ronda Rousey, and we have John Malkovich. Now, this is a film that was gifted to me a couple of weeks ago. It's not a film that I really had a huge amount of desire to watch. I know it wasn't getting great reviews when it came out, and it's one of those films that I thought, well, I'll probably get around to watching that eventually, but I'm in no rush. However, I have watched it now, watched it last night with my wife. And what is this film about? Well, this film focuses on Mark Wahlberg's character Jimmy, who is the head of some elite military group that they are kind of like the last resort. You know, when all else fails, you call this team in and they'll get the job done for you. It's all very covert stuff, high tech operational stuff, and his team's the best. And we see at the beginning of this film there's an operation on American soil that goes wrong. There's a 18-year-old young Russian guy killed that sets off a chain of events. It then jumps forward, I think it's something like 16 months, and Mark Wahlberg and his team are in Indonesia, and they are then tasked with the job of trying to smuggle out Iko Uwais' character, who has got something they need. He's got like this drive that he gives them, and on this drive gives them the locations of these really nasty bombs and things like that, but he is the only one that can unlock it, and he makes a deal with them. He says, you get me out of this country, I want out of this country, and as soon as I'm on the plane out of this country, I'll give you the code to unlock this drive so you can find these bombs. So they kind of give him no choice really, to Mark Wahlberg and the US. But there are a few other people out there that want him really, really badly. Iko Uwais' character. But they agree to this because they need this drive unlocking. So there is a 22-mile journey from the embassy in Indonesia to the airport, and Mark Wahlberg and his team are tasked with getting Iko Uwais' character to the airport safely, knowing that it isn't going to be a safe trip. There are going to be lots of people after them. So John Malkovich's team, which is called Overwatch, are called in to be the eyes and ears, and they're called Mother for Mark Wahlberg's team to guide them through the mission. However, when they set off, as you could imagine, things don't go according to plan, and it becomes a fight for survival by everybody. Right, so what did I think of Mile 22? Well, I actually thought it was alright, this film. I thought it was entertaining. I thought the action in it was good when we got it. I thought it was overly complex when it didn't need to be, and there are issues with this film, which is what I will discuss. In fact, we'll discuss them first. What are the issues with the film? Well, I think they make a poor filmmaking decision here. The scenes throughout this film, right from the beginning all the way through it, of Mark Wahlberg sat around a table discussing the operation with some senior government guy. So you fairly soon figure out that this is, he's talking in past tense, so he's talking about the operation and everything that went wrong. So you're thinking, hang on a minute, that's a poor decision, because that removes immediately the tension from Mark Wahlberg's character, because you know he's going to live. And I didn't like that filmmaking choice. Took that away from me, because I always knew he was going to live. So and you will as well if you watch this film. It was a poor filmmaking decision in my opinion. Another thing I didn't particularly like was, they've got one of the best martial artists on the planet here with Iko Uwais, who's made one of the most legendary action movies of all time, The Raid, and his scenes are so poorly filmed and edited with quick shots and quick cuts that it makes it very, very difficult to follow what he's doing, and it kind of spoils those scenes for me. And I thought that the plot was overly complex for what this film actually is, and this film stripped it right down to its bones. Is them trying to get Iko Uwais' character from A to B, and it's a 22-mile journey, and they've got to get there in one piece. And there's a little twist thrown in at the end. That is essentially a film, and they try and overly complicate the story and the plot with these other things that they throw in there that I just thought was unnecessary, and a little bit daft, and the film didn't really need it, because when the film gets going, and it's a really strong opening to the film. I really like the opening to the film. It gets you straight away interested. It slows down a bit, and then when Iko Uesa's character turns up, it picks up again. And then when they start this 22-mile journey, it really picks up, and that's the strongest part of the film. So it should have trusted in what it was trying to be, and which is essentially just an action flick. You know, it tries at times to be a bit of a political drama at times, and it didn't need to be. Just trust in what you were doing, because the action you gave us was actually okay, apart from the way they filmed the martial arts stuff. And Mark Wahlberg's character, they took an interesting decision with his character in that they don't make him particularly likable, to say the least. He's got these weird character traits. You know, he's always snapping an elastic band on his wrist, which he does explain at the beginning why he does that, and he's a really quite aggressive character, and he doesn't seem to like people at all, and that's all explained in the film, but it doesn't help you to relate to him, it doesn't help you to root for him particularly. So I'm not sure that, I suppose it's better than just giving us like a cookie cutter, you know, American hero type character, you know, very bland. They tried to do something interesting with his character, I suppose you could say, but it made him difficult to like, is my point. However, I'm actually going to give this film a 7 out of 10. Me and my wife both quite enjoyed it for what it was, you know, but when it tries to be something it isn't, it kind of spoilt it, and there were some poor filmmaking decisions going on in this, but it's a fairly decent action film, this, and I do recommend it if you want to watch a pretty decent action flick. That's what you're going to get with this. So that is my review for Mile 22. I hope you enjoyed the review. I'll see you next time on Screen Stars.